So, with the dynamometer off the service vehicle, there's a few things we need to do before we carry out a test. The first thing I'm going to do is to lower the front of the dynamometer. To the bottom, and from there I'm then going to go to the back of the dynamometer itself and put down the prop stands. And from there, what we're aiming to do is to take the weight off the tyres. So back to the jockey wheel at the front. We'll then raise the front of the machine. So by doing that, the weight is now being carried by the jockey wheel on the front and the prop stands at the back, giving us a good rigid machine for when we carry out our test with the tractor. What we're now aiming to do is to ensure that the PTO shaft of the gearbox and the PTO shaft of the tractor are parallel vertically and horizontally. That will remove any friction losses when we carry out the PTO test. So PTO shaft connected. We've also got the safety chain as well to connect on there, just to avoid the tractor and dynamometer separating in mid-test. PTO shaft attached. I've actually just rolled the tractor back slightly to ensure that we've got a sort of smaller gap there for the PTO shaft. Tightened up the safety chain. We're now in a position to go testing. Switched on, everything connected, our power supply is there, that's good because we've got a green light. We then need to switch the cooling fans on. You hear the cooling fans in the background there. And what I'm going to do is, using the handheld controller, I'm going to select the auto test. So we'll increase the revs, the engine revs to high idle. Idle speed is shown on the handheld. Then going to start the test by pressing 3. This is the auto test, so we're going to check the power and also the torque for the tractor. But as it suggests in the name, all of this is done automatically for us. So the load has been gradually placed onto the tractor. So you can see the PTO speed now is dropping as we increase the load onto the tractor, and our torque value increasing in doing so. So the load's now been released. We've identified the maximum power, but also the maximum torque of the machine. So the test now complete. Just press F1, that actually takes us to the summary of the test. From there, we can see power at PTO, 168.9 for rated speed, 1000 RPM. Maximum power
found 179.9 horsepower at 875 RPM, and of course our maximum torque as well, 1158 pounds-feet. So with the dynamometer test done, we've got our summary information on the handheld. Next thing to do is to allow the dynamometer to cool down. Now, depending on the size of the machine, that could be a relatively short period of time or slightly longer. Bearing in mind, of course, we can test tractors as small as 10 horsepower on this because of the sort of low start-up torque required. If you're testing a high horsepower tractor, load banks that have been working harder, you can just place your hand over the top and feel the temperature of that air. When you're happy with that, all we then need to do is just switch the dyno off by pressing the stop button. And that will then turn off the main fans. So with all testing done, first thing to do, remove the safety chain. And shaft removed. Yes.